What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Underdog Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Nolan Ski, and alongside Antonio Fiore, Salestrina. Gentlemen, we're live and remote for the first time ever. How does it feel?
I am
False.
live. I'm live from my passenger seat.
I
You
was
are.
in South Carolina at one point 2 years ago, and we did a Zoom.
Yeah, that was
podcast
our
at one
first.
point.
That was
That
our
was
first.
2 years ago.
Dude, yeah,
That's
time
crazy.
flies.
I was thinking about that today, because I remember you sitting in that conference room at the bottom of the hotel.
They're like, yeah, your flight will be fine. Then it gets delayed 6 hours, and then another 3 hours after that. I'm like, okay, nice. I love this.
That was a countrywide thing, right?
Yeah,
It
that was
still
when it was really
happens.
bad. It still happens,
Anytime
but
you
that
fly-
that was when it was really
anytime
bad.
you fly lately, literally anytime you fly lately, people shit gets delayed all the time.
Now they have to refund you if it happens and you get canceled.
Aw.
You get canceled.
Yeah, if your flight gets canceled. If you get canceled on Twitter.
So
All
the
right,
NFL draft.
Sports, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it's kind of the slow period, but I think it's the best time of year because of NHL playoffs. But yeah, the NFL draft just happened. I think it was probably one of the more hyped up drafts I feel like in a while.
I think the appropriate place to start has to be the Giants and the Patriots talking about our teams.
I was gonna say we got two Patriots fans here, and that was in a top pick. So
Nolan, I'm gonna let you take the floor on Drake May before I go.
Yeah, I mean, leading up to it, obviously, I think Jaden Daniels is better. I'll say that. But obviously, leading up to it, it was always going to be Drake May. It wasn't even all that shit that came out that Jaden Daniels didn't like his visit with the Commanders and he kind of was pissed at how they were treating him and whatnot. And I was like, maybe there's a chance. Maybe there's just a chance. But I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter how much he says. They're going to pick him no matter what. So then I started to come around on Drake May, and I really do think he's really good, but is he the savior of the franchise that everyone keeps making him out to be? The jury's still out, but I mean, I'm excited, man. It was definitely one of their best drafts in recent memory.
I mean, dude, what could they have done to piss off Jaden Daniels unless he was just making it up because he didn't want to play there?
Well, he didn't like that when they visited. There was 12 other players there. They kind of didn't make him feel like he was their number one guy, I guess, and all that. There was something else too, but I'm forgetting off the top of my head before that. Or his visit didn't go well in the beginning, and then when they do that recruitment trip and they bring all the recruiting players, there was 15 players there, and he just didn't feel like he was priority, I guess.
So I'm out on Jaden Daniels.
I mean,
I don't think he's gonna be good.
He's gonna be terrible now that he went to the Commanders.
He can't especially on that team, he can't be good. I even think if he went to the Patriots, he would have been pretty a mediocre clarinet player, honestly. It wouldn't have been
one of those guys where I definitely think it would be situational. I think maybe in the future, if he leaves them, maybe he has a good year or two down the road. I don't know. If he's in the league for a while. I think he's very talented. He obviously has a really good arm.
He can throw the football, but he's a stick. He weighs 170 pounds. He's gonna get fucked there. He's every hit he takes, he's gonna be one hit closer to season-ending injury. He's a quarterback that definitely gets hurt this year. He's just one of those people.
Is that not Aaron Rodgers' his entire career? I mean, Aaron Rodgers has been a stick.
I'm already taking Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, is it not though? Is he not same body type kind
of? I don't know. Jaden Daniels is definitely skinnier and a little scrawnier than Aaron Rodgers.
How tall is Jaden Daniels? 6'1"?
Right now.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair too. He can grow into his body a little bit, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like he's just gonna take a pounding in the NFL. I just think Drake May is built for it, and I see some of these throws that he makes, and I'm like, this is an NFL quarterback. He looks like he can make maybe not all the throws, but 90% of the throws. And the thing that you said about him being Matt Jones in different font, maybe it's kind of true in some aspects where he has good accuracy, but maybe not
I still think
strongest.
He's more.
He's definitely more athletic. I can say that for sure. And he didn't have like the best weapons at UNC. Like UNC wasn't a great team last year. It's like Matt Jones was at Alabama.
The year before, Drake May looks fantastic, and when you lose some of your best players, I mean that's going to happen. But you've seen him play really good when he has decent players to throw to. And it's not like UNC is attracting the highest end of offensive talent in the country.
So I'm in agreement with that, and I'm all for Drake May. I think he's going to be the second best quarterback in this class. I think Caleb Williams is going to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, though. I think he's going to be a stud.
There's definitely a lot of people that were saying like that they wanted Drake May over Caleb Williams even. I don't know.
Where'd you hear that from, Adam Schefter?
I don't know, dude. People on Twitter, on the internet and stuff. I mean, the way people were talking about it was like it didn't. Like, yeah, Caleb Williams was the number 1 overall pick, but like it didn't seem as set in stone as like some other guys in the past. I don't know. Like to me, it was like 70% he was going number 1 overall.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I really like about Drake May is like he has like 4 brothers. Like they always played sports when they were younger. Like his older brother was really good. Luke May was really good at UNC. Like he's a 2-sport athlete. Like I feel like people like that and like a sporting background normally tend to be really good.
Was he a basketball player?
He made a game-winning shot in the tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna say I recognize that name. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So like they like come from a sports lineage. Like I think that like only can bode well for him. And like, you know, New England's like thriving or like desperate for like a thriving quarterback or like someone that will spark a pulse back in this team. And I definitely think like Drake May is going to be new life for this team. And he might not be like a top 5 quarterback, but I can easily see him being like a top 10, 12, 14 quarterback in the league, which, you know, that's what we need right now. And especially with like our defense too, I could see us like 8-9 wins next year. I don't think that's out of the picture, even with a rookie quarterback, depending on if they start him though.
But, okay. What do you think? Do you think that they start him?
I think they do. I think they're going to, but I think Jacoby Brissett should be starting. You don't want to throw the kid out there and just have him, you know, get thrown to the wolves and knock his confidence down. I think
I'm kind of with Sal on that because we've definitely seen that go wrong like a lot. I think teams are starting to learn now that like it really isn't. Of course, it's situational with certain quarterbacks and whatever situation your team's in, but it really is not always your best bet to throw out your top, you know, first round pick right away once you get them. Especially after the Packers last year with Jordan Love. Now I think teams are going to look more to kind of ease players into their quarterback situation.
Well, also too, throwing him out there next year, what's like the best case scenario? Like, yes, he could look really good, but like
they're I said, not going 12-5, you know.
Exactly. So it's like you're probably a wild card team at best with Drake May, and at worst, you get him hurt or you kill his confidence. So it's like you don't really have a lot of upside, and there's a lot of downside by starting him right off the bat. You throw Jacoby out there for the first 6-8 games. You let Drake May learn. You know Jacoby's not going to play. You know, I really like Jacoby Brissett, but I like him more as like a leader, as like a intangible guy. I don't like him as like a, you know, franchise quarterback. But
good backup.
Right. But you throw him out there for the first half of the season. They do whatever. Maybe they lose 2 or 3 in a row and then bring Drake May in. And then all the fans are like, oh, okay, now we got something to root for. Now we're excited for the second half of the year. And then maybe, you know, who knows? They win 5-6 games in a row after that. I just really think he is a talented quarterback that has the chance to be a top 10 quarterback in this league. And I think he's going to be, you know, a solid 10, 12-year starter in the league. That's what I foresee from him.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I think like people have this like skewed perception that like, oh, Drake May's going to come in and they're immediately going to be in contention for a Super Bowl. It's like, that's not how it fucking works. Like Jacoby Brissett is there for a reason. He's there because that you want him to come in slowly. You want to work him up. You want to make him into a pro. Why bring him in right away? Why bring him in right away? Like you said, kill his confidence. The perfect scenario is they sneak into a wild card with Drake May. Like that is the absolute perfect scenario. I am okay with this team going 5-12 this year. I don't give a fuck. Like harvest some more picks. I don't know, like build up another team around him. Yeah, throw him in intermittently in the season, see what he's got. And like if he does bad, then you know he needs a little bit more time. And if he does well, then you know maybe you can bring him in sooner than you thought. But like You have to like give it time. Like you can't just throw him. That's what's going to happen to Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is going to get thrown into the mix immediately with no help, and he's immediately going to be dog shit.
Lines with no weapons. You got like Terry McLaurin, and that's like it over there. Like he's going to look bad, and then
it's going to be Bryce Young. It's going to be Bryce Young from last year. Like he's going to get thrown in. He's going to be fucking awful, and it's going to completely kill his confidence, and we're never going to see him again. It's exactly what's going to happen.
You guys ready for this, dude?
What about Bryce Young? Bryce Young is another level.
Oh, yeah. Caleb Williams will do to the Green Bay Packers what Aaron Rodgers did to the Chicago Bears. He's going to own that franchise for the next 10 or 12 years.
Jordan Love already started to do that.
Nope. Caleb Williams is better than Jordan Love today, right now. Yes.
I don't think he's good at all.
I can't wait to see this play out because Nolan does not like Caleb Williams. I
hate him so much.
I don't hate him so much, but like,
How can he be bad with that offense? There's literally no chance.
Who the fuck is there?
Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. They drafted Romo Dunze, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. He's going to be really fucking good.
It's still the Bears,
Why?
dude.
Because it's the Bears and they just can't be good.
I mean, but also, like, Keenan Allen, can't wait for you to get hurt.
But that's the thing is you don't need Keenan Allen to be like Keenan Allen. Like, he's going to be the second or third option on that team.
I do like Odunze. I think he's going to be really good.
You have three studs at receiver, and then Caleb Williams is going to be really good right off the bat, and he's only going to get better. The only question I have is how good their offensive line is going to be. They had like I think a bottom third offensive line. If they can creep up to like middle of the pack, I think he's fine and he can move around. It's just a matter of like putting all the pieces together. They might not be good like week 1, week 2, but I think towards the end of the season they're going to be a really good team.
Yeah, no, I could see them picking up momentum as the season goes on, but I'd be surprised if they finish above the Lions and the Packers, unless one of those teams gets injured to all hell.
The Lions are not winning the division this year. I'm saying that right now.
Well, they might not. I don't think they win the division, but they still have like.
They're going to be better than the Bears.
I don't know if I have the Bears winning that division yet. I haven't like meditated on the NFC North yet.
The Packers and Lions are both better than the Bears. Even I was going to say
those two
their
teams
offense
might finish with the 2 best records in the NFC next year.
Okay, the Packers and the Lions are both better than the Bears, but I can argue the Bears have a better offense than the Lions.
I wouldn't call you crazy.
I don't know.
We haven't seen them yet, but on paper, sure, you could make that argument.
We'll see what happens, but I Arrow's definitely like pointing sky high for the Chicago Bears in my mind.
I agree. They're for sure trending in the right direction.
The Malik Neighbors pick, good, bad.
I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna say this before. I know the Giants were really high on Drake May. They really wanted him, and they tried with the Patriots, but obviously the Patriots liked him too, so that they weren't really gonna budge, and that would have taken quite the fall. I don't even know. Like, I think I would have been happy if they did make that trade and draft May, but it's just like, I don't know. The Giants are in kind of like a weird situation. Neighbors is a good pick. I think he's going to be nasty. However, like, he's had some off-field stuff in the past. I think he got caught with a gun or something. You don't love to hear that. But he is an LSU receiver.
He hates Daniel Jones too.
He hates Daniel Jones.
No, Neighbors does. He said that during his press conference. He called him Daniel Jones in his press conference.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and he did not look excited to be there.
I mean, how many this team is just like whiffed on signing receivers, and they haven't really drafted, many receivers that actually no, Kadarius Toney. So yeah, they have whiffed on receivers in the draft and in free agency in the last few years. So maybe if he doesn't look excited to be there, maybe he thinks they're going to handle him like shit. But
it's just so weird because the Giants are good like every like second or third year, and then like you look at their roster and you're like, wait, they have nobody.
Here's the thing: is that whenever they do go out and get Daniel Jones, someone that's supposed to be a number 1 receiver, it's just like he just struggles. He has no chemistry with guys that have like high talent potential, even like Darren Waller. He loves
because he can't throw the football. He's a bad quarterback. He loves throwing
to average receivers. That's what it is.
Because he's an average quarterback.
Huh?
He's an average quarterback. That's why.
Exactly. But like even some average quarterbacks can get the ball to their elite receiver, and that's why they're average and not bad because they chuck it to a talented guy. The Giants have had talented guys in the team, but he would rather throw to fucking like Sterling Shepard up the middle.
So realistically, you guys would have been better off taking like an offensive lineman or defense.
Sure. But I don't know. I think receiver's a good pick if it's a hit.
But why do they try to go the draft route instead
of?
They
signed offensive linemen. That should be better next year, but we say that every year. Defense is trending in the right direction. I'm fine with them not going defense first round.
Well, Nolan, the last receiver that they signed was Kenny Golladay. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't understand why they don't try to make a big splash for a guy in free agency when they always try to draft the number one guy. It's like it's less likely than hitting on a quarterback.
They'd be better off trading for like T. Higgins or Brandon Ayuk. I feel like.
I agree.
I don't understand how T. Higgins isn't somewhere right now. How Tyler Boyd isn't somewhere right now. Like, why are they not giving these guys a?
T. Higgins in a Patriots jersey would look amazing.
Well, didn't they just franchise tag him?
Yeah, but he doesn't want to re-sign, or like he requested a trade or something. So it seems like he's out of there.
There's still some solid guys on that are free agents right now. Like, why are you not trying to get Tyler Boyd? Tyler Boyd would be good in this offense, I feel like. Like, why are you not giving these guys a call? Like,
that's funny because I feel like Tyler Boyd is like the perfect New York Giant for some reason. Like he actually,
that's what I'm saying. Giant. Like, and he's like a solid wide. Like, yeah, sure, he's not like a number one guy, but I mean, he's somebody. Like they have nothing.
I like it. No. I see Tyler Boyd more as a New York Jet than a New York Giant.
Oh wow, no, I see him as like
I think he would do better with the
New York Giant.
I think he's a guy that the Giants would sign and be like, "Oh, good, we got this new receiver," and then he just does nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. The Giants are like one of those teams where it's like, oh, this receiver is going to be really good, and then they're really bad, and then it's like, oh, this fourth round receiver is probably not going to play, and then he has 100 catches and 1,000 yards. It's like, okay.
I mean, that's true. Who's Hodgins?
Right? Yeah,
he's the practice squad guy.
Yep.
Oh, and they still have what's his face from last year? The guy they just drafted.
Who?
I forget his name. He's fast, good deep threat.
Why do I want to say Richie James, but that's not right.
Not Richie James.
Oh, I think I know. Oh shit.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Hodgins, but it's not Hodgins. It's somebody else.
Not Hodgins. Hodgins is good though.
Kenny Stills, is that right?
Kenny Stills?
No, Sills. S-I-L-L-S.
No,
isn't that his name?
This is the guy that he was a rookie last year.
I don't know then.
I can't think of his name either, but I'll look it up after and I'll feel really dumb.
I don't know.
He had some games where he looked nice.
The Giants are going to go like 6-11 next season, and it's going to be the same story of like, oh, well, our offense is bad and our offensive line sucked and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Is it Robinson?
I mean.
Oh, Wandale? Is it Wandale?
Yeah, maybe. No, Wandale was another one of those random guys that they kind of either got late or picked up off like practice squads.
Yeah, and they picked up Isaiah McKenzie. Jalen Hyatt, is that who you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah, that's who he is. Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, they're starting to put pieces there, and, I'm not really, Devin Singletary doesn't really excite me, but this running back out of Purdue that they got in the fourth round supposedly is supposed to be pretty good.
I don't think Devin Singletary excites me, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, like, why are they not trying to get, like, Corey Davis or something? Like, why are they not trying to get, like, one of these, like, veteran guys?
I don't know. Just does that really do anything for them?
Yeah,
really?
I'm all set with Corey Davis.
I mean, okay, so they have nothing. They have nothing then. You lose Saquon, this team is nothing.
What did we think of that signing? I'm shocked he went to the Eagles.
I'm shocked they let him go to the Eagles. Like, I guess they didn't have a choice.
Oh, Saquon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, but, like, that's just one of the things I think that in the NFL, like, you just don't do that. Like, you just don't go to your rival.
It's like an unwritten thing, but I feel like Saquon, like, didn't give a fuck. Like, he was sick of the Giants. Give a fuck.
I think he resents the Giants. And I think he's pissed. I think he thinks that he's in his prime, and I think he thinks that he's wasted some of it there. But also, he's been hurt for, half the time he's been with the Giants.
For 80% of his career he's been hurt.
Yeah, no, there's no reason why he should be mad at the Giants. Like, what is
I
he
mean,
like? They didn't build anything around him.
Listen, I understand them being mad that they gave Daniel Jones the bag instead of him, and then franchise tagging Saquon during that whole situation. Because Daniel Jones, after he had that good year where they went to the playoffs, it was like his camp wouldn't accept the franchise tag, and they wanted the big contract, and so did Saquon. Saquon had 1 year left on his deal, and
He was hurt.
wanted an extension, but he got franchise tag.
Well, Daniel Jones' agent's brilliant because they're like, this is the only good season we're gonna get out of him, so we definitely get him.
Yeah, they cash that shit in. It's like you can't keep getting hurt and then expect to get paid. That's not how this works.
He's gonna be gone after, what does he have, 2 years left? He's gone after 2 years easily.
Oh yeah, he's just
DeVito's
gonna be
the quarterback next year.
They cut him.
Nah.
I'm fairly confident they cut him.
Fuck that. Why?
Fuck that. I don't know, because he wasn't that good. He was good for like a game and a half,
Fuck
maybe.
That. That's fucked. What do you mean? He was fine.
He was all right. Yeah, like fine is a good way to put it. He wasn't good.
Mean, I don't get like why get rid of him. Like what? Like do you really need like should they go after another backup or something? I don't get it.
Don't they still have Tyrod? So it's Tyrod and Daniel.
Oh, Tyrod, yeah.
Yeah. Which is still awful. That's still really bad.
You mean Tyrod's really good.
The most Jim Harbaugh thing ever was taking an offensive tackle with his first pick back. Like, obviously he does that.
Yeah, he's like...
Yeah. Apparently he's, like, going to be, like, the best tackle ever, too.
Probably.
No, like, they're saying, like, it's, like, confirmed, like, first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, they already put him in Canton. Like, he already has a shrine there.
Well, it'd be cool if the Giants would have taken him then.
Well, no, then he would have been really bad.
But yeah, I was going to say if the Giants took him, then he would have been like Eric Flowers. Because, you know, he was supposed to be really good too.
You guys literally have a 0% like hit percentage on offensive linemen. Like everyone you got is bad. And then you try to sign Nate Soldier, and then he's terrible too.
That was like when they did that, it's just like, all right, there's a curse. When they signed Soldier and he was absolutely awful, it really felt like they're just cursed when it comes to the offensive line.
So now the most confusing pick of the draft, the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins, and then they draft Michael Penix. So what do we think about that?
Michael Penis, did you see that? They accidentally posted that. Yeah, Michael
Penis, number 8.
That was funny.
Because what? Penix would be 28 years old by the time Kirk's contract is done. So to me, I think that at some point in the next 2 years that maybe they might look to trade Kirk Cousins in the next 2-3 years, possibly.
That's the only logical explanation.
Or if not, they trade Penix. But Penix's value is only it's not getting any higher.
Well, you're not getting better than the 8th overall pick back. I can tell you that much.
Absolutely. Sure. They're not getting, I don't know if they would get a first rounder back for him in a year if they wanted to trade him for something.
But why are you not trading back a couple picks and still trying to take him? Like, nobody's probably like trading up for Michael Penix at 8. Like, they probably could drop back to like 12 or 13 and still gotten him.
Yeah, not a bad point.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it was a wasted pick, and then the way that they handled it in the media was like one of the worst fumbles I've ever seen. Like, they just didn't they didn't sell it good enough. Like, you're supposed, like, okay, you knew this pick was going to be controversial. All it seemed like was you had no idea that you were going to pick Michael Penix until the clock hit you.
It felt more like a meme. It felt like they were all hitting a pen in there, and then they're like, "Watch this. We'll take Michael Penix. It'll be really funny."
Like someone said like, "You won't." Someone was like, "You won't do it," and the GM was like, "Watch this."
The best videos, Arthur Blank and the GM talking, and the guy's like trying to like, I don't even know what he was trying to explain, but he's like doing hand gestures and whatever. It's like, you're getting fired. Like you're done.
It literally looks like someone trying to keep their job, like after they fucked up. They're like pleading for their job still, and he's just like, "Please, dude." He's like, "This is why we did it. This is our roadmap." Like, he was using all the business jargon. He was like, "This is our roadmap. This is how we see the future going."
And I like Michael Penix too, at least in college. I don't know how it's going to translate to the pros, but like if Penix was 2 or 3 years younger, I think the pick makes sense. If he's 22 or 21, and he sits for 3 years and then he's 24, it's like, all right, like 24-year-old quarterback, you still have a lot of runway to, lead the franchise for another 10, 12 years, 15 years at that point. It's like he's 24. If you have him sit behind Cousins for 2 or 3 years, all right, now you're talking 27. Like maybe he needs a year to adjust. Like you're talking close to 30 before he's even like relevant. You're that's so far down the line, and you wasted the 8th overall pick like 3 years prior. I just, if you believe in him, sure, but then why did you sign Kirk Cousins if you believed in Penix? Like that's the thing where it's like that doesn't make sense.
I thought Antonio was gonna go. It doesn't make any sense because like if that was your plan, like if that was their rationale, like they look at it as, they're building for the future. Why didn't they pick JJ McCarthy?
Yeah.
Like why did you pick the older guy?
I guess the rationale had to have been that Penix was like the highest player out of like any non-Caleb Williams quarterback probably, and he fell to 8. So like I guess, they just were like, this is our guy and we want him. But again, you don't need to sign a 37-year-old Kirk Cousins coming off a torn Achilles for $150 million or whatever the fuck. If you're going to draft quarterback at 8 overall, like those two things should not be, done together. It's either one, you want Kirk Cousins, or one, you want Michael Penix. You don't combine the two and make a awkward situation in the locker room. But
it definitely created an awkward situation because you could have gotten something so good at that pick. Like you could have gotten like an offensive lineman, or you could have gotten like a weapon, or you could have
gotten Rome Odunze. You want one pick later.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, like you could have gotten a number of guys, and it almost is like, do they think like Kirk Cousins isn't going to be the same off of his injury? Like obviously like him being older and that sort of injury, it can take a toll on guys, but like then don't sign him.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't make any sense.
It might just be like the Packers might have really just set a trend where it's like, oh, maybe we should have, guys like this sit for a couple of years. I don't know. That's about my best explanation.
So here's another hot take. Marvin Harrison's going to be the next Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona.
Oh, dude.
He's going to be so good.
I'm taking, dude, if I have like number 1 overall pick in fantasy, I might take him with Tyler. Oh my god, dude, that's gonna be ridiculous.
They're gonna be really good. I mean, like that connection is gonna be really good. The Cardinals might not be really good, but like Tyler,
that Marvin, connection at least.
Yeah,
he's gonna get 100 targets a game.
The Cardinals shouldn't be a shit team though.
No, and like the Rams should start getting worse, and the Seahawks should start getting worse. So it's like they can really slide up to the second best team.
Are the Rams gonna be worse though?
You would think.
The Seahawks are definitely going to be worse.
Almost all year, and like what? Stafford's going back out there again. Like he's just getting older and slower and worse. Like I don't think they're going to be anything to write home about next year.
And Aaron Donald's gone, right?
Yeah, he retired.
Yep. So I mean, what's their defense going to be?
They had a couple really good rookie picks. I know that for a fact last season, but like. Even still, like they have a lot of holes on that team. Like Cooper Kupp looked really elderly at the end of the year last year. Like Puka's obviously really good. Kyron's really good.
They just seem to draft really well. I don't know what it is. Like late round picks. They traded away everybody for that Super Bowl, and then they had no first round picks for like 2 or 3 years, and then those players ended up being really good that they took late. So
I mean, Puka Nacua. Like that was literally like hitting the lottery. It's like they didn't think he was going to be good, and then all of a sudden he explodes onto the scene. Like they do do a very good job of like evaluating players, and like I don't know, maybe it's that fucking $15 million mansion that they get to draft from. Maybe that's part of it.
I think they have a decently high ceiling, not like if they won 11 games, like would it be surprising? Maybe a little bit, but it's not like it would be the biggest shock in the world. Like if Matt Stafford is healthy and has one more good year.
And the NFC West is terrible now. So like,
you want to know what my favorite thing about this podcast is? Like, just my absolute favorite. This is what, our 5th year doing it or 4th year?
Yeah,
right?
No, we're retarded. That's the best part about it.
Well, no, we're retarded, but like every year I'm like, oh yeah, the Colts are gonna be really good. Or like every year, I'm like the Browns are gonna be really good. Like every year we say the same teams. Like Antonio's like, yeah, the Rams are gonna be really good.
We say the same
The
thing until we're
Broncos are
eventually
gonna be
right. Like we will eventually be right. It just it takes a while.
Dude, you will not hear me say the Broncos are going to be good this year.
Why, you don't like Bo Nix, or just like you're off? You're done?
I thought you liked Bo Nix.
Nah, just because you went to Auburn doesn't mean I like Bo Nix. I don't
Okay.
see it.
So Antonio, you might not like the Broncos, but I won't believe you until it comes to week 1 and we're saying the Broncos spread against whatever
Yeah,
team.
no. So if Bo
It's
Nix
easy to
has
say now.
one good week, I'll be like, no. If Zach Wilson starts and then Zach has like a 4 touchdown game, I'll be like, Sean Payton fixed him.
That's so gross,
just the
dude.
Jets. The Jets are just terrible.
Ugh.
I will say though, I think Sean Payton is elated that he doesn't have Russell Wilson anymore.
Well, it was like I know that fit, never worked, and maybe it didn't make sense or whatever, but like he was that bad last year. Like when I watched the Broncos game, I wasn't sitting there saying, Russell Wilson's the problem with this team. Like
No, I just think from the year before it just soured. Like it was
as a whole, they were just underwhelming. They were so inconsistent. They won that little winning streak in the middle of the season. Things looked like they were really good, and then they skid again at the end of the year. They were just strange. It's not like it was only their defense that was the culprit or only their offense that was the culprit. It was like when they were losing games, they were taking turns on what side of the ball was playing like shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm of the mindset that Sean Payton can make anyone look good. So like maybe Bo Nix might be good. And like
I don't think they're gonna be terrible, but I don't see much coming out of them this year.
I don't think Bo Nix should be a good NFL quarterback, but like I don't know, in a Sean Payton system, can he not throw for 4,000 yards and like 25, 30 touchdowns? Like I don't think that's asking for like too much.
I guess, but like what? He had a good season at Oregon. I mean, shit, he was playing for Auburn like 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's also true. But
like I don't know. When you watch him, it's like he's got a weird build too. I don't know, just a weird quarterback.
Yeah, it'll be that's an interesting team where it's like, are they just gonna like bottom out and be like, a top 3 pick again next year, or are they gonna like take a leap forward and like, I'm not gonna say they can make the playoffs, but maybe like cusp, maybe like they're an 8-win team or a 9-win team, but who knows?
So, who out of all the teams do you think won the draft?
I'm biased, but I would say the Patriots. Like I thought they had a really good draft.
The Patriots too.
Interesting.
And they were due for it.
I would say the Patriots had a very good draft. I would say the Chiefs, with that wide receiver that they took from Texas, who everyone's saying is going to be the next Tyreek Hill, I think that was a really good pick. I don't know how much depth they got past that, but to just give Patrick Mahomes another weapon that he can just run really quick down the field and I'll find you. Like that's a great pick. And obviously we already talked about the Bears, but the Bears adding a weapon and their franchise quarterback, and they took defense later on too. Like I think that was definitely a winner. Those would be my winners.
Yeah, I'd probably go
with
either the Patriots or like even like the Vikings. I feel like had a really good. Like they ended up getting the guy that they wanted. You think he's bad?
He's gonna be bad. He's gonna be bad.
I don't know, dude.
But in that situation, I don't think he's gonna look bad.
He came into a good situation.
They're going to be down 20 every game, and then it's going to be like, oh, J.J. McCarthy to Justin Jefferson, J.J. to J.J.
So they're bad. So the Vikings are just bad, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're going to be horrid next year.
Good, I'm sick of them.
Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings.
They drafted well, though.
As of May 2nd, the Minnesota Vikings are 5-12 next year. Locked in. I'm telling you right now what the record is.
So in August, are you gonna have the same thing?
5-12.
Okay, I'll remember that.
They're going to be the worst team in that division, easily.
I mean,
if you're
saying
fired,
if you're saying that the Patriots drafted the best, what's their record going to be next year?
7-10 or 8-9.
Okay, so it's not about who is a good team; it's about how they drafted, though.
I agree. No, I completely agree. But J.J. McCarthy is going to be a bad quarterback. They wasted a first-round pick on him. and 2 or 3 years at the quarterback position because they're going to keep trying, and he's going to keep being bad.
I think he's going to be decent. I don't think he's going to be good right away.
So rank the quarterbacks in this draft class, Nolan. At least the first round, there was 6.
For me, like and I'm not going off how it's going to be next year. My assumption was Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Caleb Williams, and then J.J. McCarthy. And then Michael Penix at 5. Those are my
top 3. I would have a hard time with trying to pick between Penix and McCarthy. I think I probably would have given Penix the edge just a little bit more.
I think McCarthy comes from a way better system, a way better coach, and he's coming off a national championship. Like, he has proven it.
Yeah, I think I would have said McCarthy over Nix.
He's just a winner, though. Like, he's learned culture.
McCarthy over Nix.
Like, Michael Penix, raw talent, Michael Penix is probably better, but you have to look at how they've developed as a player coming into this draft.
No, I understand.
Like, he's come from an NFL type situation, and like
he was a leader.
Exactly, and he's gonna come in and affect it right away.
So personally, my order is Caleb Williams, Gap, because he's gonna be a top 5 quarterback. Drake May. I'm gonna go Penix, then Daniels, then Nix, then McCarthy. That's my order.
That's crazy. That's the craziest. Yeah. That's the craziest order I've ever heard.
I mean, it's the right order. That's
you put thing. You put Bo Nix before J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, he's better than J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy national championship.
He's going to be a ragdoll in the Minnesota Vikings backfield for the next 2 or 3 years. He's going to be
crazy.
He's going to be horrible. He's going to be awful.
He's going to be better than Bo Nix. Like, going to be better than Bo Nix.
I don't know. Like, they're both not going to be good. So it doesn't.
The Vikings have a better offense and more weapons around than Bo Nix is going to have.
Yeah, but like literally Sean Payton is literally Patrick giving SpongeBob directions in the car. Like, he can do whatever he wants.
But Sean Payton, I feel like, is just bad now. I feel like he's just an old grump now.
Really?
He's getting to be like Bill almost. Like, he's getting to be like it's just gotten sour.
I don't know. I
still think he's got some juice left, do you think?
Yeah, he's got a little juice left for sure.
I just feel like he was gone for too long. The Saints were bad on his way out, and then he was gone for too long. Like, he's just out of it now. Like, I feel like he doesn't even care. I feel like he's definitely excited for this sort of draft, and like he gets to kind of like wipe the slate clean a little bit. But like, okay, you put in Zach Wilson and Bo Nix, like that's the worst combo I have ever heard. Like, that is the worst QB duo you could possibly have.
I feel like with him, he's just going to have a much shorter, like, kind of temper, I guess, than with the Saints. I don't know if temper is the right word, but I don't know how patient he's going to be.
It looks like a control freak move to me. Like, he wants to have 1,000% control of that locker room, because I think he feels like he lost it when Russell Wilson was there, because Russell Wilson tried to be like the locker room guy, and like we all saw how that went. Like, no one really liked him. So he's just like, I'm going to take the wheel and I'm going to be the authoritarian in the room. But that never works. Like, that's just an old style that I feel like is so outdated nowadays.
I don't know. If they all buy in, it's one thing, but you're right. If they're kind of like half in, half out, then
that's fine. But then you go and start the year 0-5, and then like, are we really going to buy it? You know what I mean? It's like, it's what happened with Russell Wilson. Like, they tried to buy into it, and then they were shitting the bed in the beginning of the year and like losing all these games. Then they're like, we fucking hate this guy. It's going to be the same thing.
It's crazy that we're like, 4 months away from like preseason? Not even.
Yeah.
3 months.
How do you feel about what Roger Goodell said, what he wants to change to the schedule? How do we feel about that?
I was going to say he hates the preseason.
Did we not learn our lesson from the last 2 seasons with everyone getting hurt and no preseason? And like the first month of the season has been bad the last 2 years. It's like, I don't like the preseason either, But you can't just throw these guys out there into a fucking 100% game. They need reps. And then the other thing too is the collective bargaining agreement. They don't want to hit each other during practice. So what? You're not going to hit each other all summer, and then you're not going to have preseason, and then you expect people to go out there and play 100%. Half the league's going to be injured by fucking week 5. Like, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I've had some time. Oh, go ahead. You're still going.
I mean, I don't like the preseason. I don't. But at the same time, it's a necessary evil. They need to get their bodies into game shape to be able to play these games. The reason fucking Goodell doesn't like the preseason is just half the stadium's empty. Yes, exactly. And nobody watches it. That's why. He doesn't care whether people get hurt. He doesn't care whether people get hurt.
Yeah, why should I want to watch preseason for 4 quarters?
You shouldn't. Nobody should. But it's part of the game. I don't know.
I've had some time to think about this, but like I used to think like it was like the preseason why everyone was getting hurt. I really don't think that anymore. It's their attitude towards the preseason because the teams take the same philosophy. They don't give a fuck about the preseason either. And they're not playing these guys. Like we used to see like the number one guys would start, your first team would start every single preseason game and play at least a half. No? Like first is that quarter, how it used to be? Or okay, yeah, and then it went to the first quarter.
Yeah.
Now it's like they're playing one series and then they come out. That's how it is now.
True.
So like it's not just the Roger Goodell thing. It's also the team's attitude towards the preseason because they don't want to risk hurting them. So then they put them in, but then that makes them more prone to injury. So it's like, where is the line here? It's like there's got to be something. But I like the fact that he tries to balance it out by putting in another bye week. So like you put in another bye week in, so you give guys a little bit more rest. You're giving them one more game and giving them one more week of rest. It's kind of balances it out. But the attitude toward preseason has to change. If there's going to be 2 preseason games, you got to start your first guys for at least a half for both games to get them the full reps. So it's almost forcing the teams to take the preseason seriously because they're not doing it right now. And it's not like there's 3, we're going down to 2. It's not that much of a difference. Like it's not going to be like, oh, because we took away one preseason game, all these starters are getting injured now. It's like, no, we have to be more diligent about how we treat the preseason games. If it's really about starting our guys and getting them reps, we need to actually do it and have them play. Not just one series where they go 3 and out and then bullshit off on the sideline and then they fuck off to the locker room. And it's like, dude, that's not. Of course, the preseason doesn't sell tickets, doesn't sell anything, doesn't give viewership. It never fucking has. That's never been like the caveat, and it never will. That's the thing. So, like, the teams need to take the responsibility of taking it seriously, not the league. The league shouldn't like. So the league sees them not taking it seriously, so then they're like, oh, we'll just take it away. But it's like, that's up to the teams. At the end of the day, it's not really up to Roger Goodell. Like, that's why they have the NFLPA. That's why they're there. I think it's a great idea to have another bye week, and then you push the Super Bowl back to President's Day weekend, and we get that Monday off. You might as well optimize the regular season to the public if that's what we're going to do, and we're going to bullshit in the preseason. That's my opinion on it.
I like that President's Day thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, a national holiday should just be the day after the Super Bowl, but it's the most
called out day of the year.
Yeah, other than this way, we get it actually off.
Other than that Thursday or Friday on March Madness.
Yeah,
I guess so, but I mean, that's like people being like, "Hey,
those are just the degenerates, though. Those are just the degenerates."
I've worked 7 or 8 years at like whatever, Leslie's in a professional job. Like, I'd say 75% of the time I'm out of work those days at like 2 p.m. no later.
Okay, but you're a degenerate with a sports podcast though. Like there are like moms that call out of work the Monday after the Super Bowl because they all go to parties.
Well, because they had too much wine during the Super Bowl. That's not my fault.
Hey, that's how it is though. But that's how it is. Nobody's doing that at noon on a Thursday during March Madness.
I was at Bobby V's on Thursday at 2.
Yeah, you were sweating out your fucking bets. You were cold sober, and you were staring at the giant TVs. Not everyone's doing that.
There's nothing like skipping your last fucking half of the school day though during March Madness to go home and watch the games.
Well, then Mr. Wiley would be like, "No, you can just watch in my class." It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, fuck that. I was literally watching
but I didn't have
class.
Mr. Wiley in the second half of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I wasn't gonna skip Wiley.
I don't know.
Yeah, you were also a little Boy Scout though, weren't you?
A boy? I don't know if I was a Boy Scout.
That was Kevin, not Antonio.
If I was a Boy Scout, then I would be on like honor roll every fucking semester, and that was not the case.
Not necessarily. You could still be.
Like
you could still be dumb. You could still be dumb.
What do you mean?
Antonio, you weren't an honor roll kid?
Huh?
You weren't like an honor roll kid? I feel like you were.
I was like maybe once a year.
Yeah.
In the right semester. Junior year, I didn't ever got honor roll junior year because I had algebra 2 and I couldn't do algebra 2.
Algebra 2 is just gay. Like it was just real gay.
Algebra 2 is the worst. Is the worst class. It's the worst class.
And then I would be like, hey, Miss Ellis, I took all the notes. I've been paying attention. You know, I sit in the front of the class and and I'm still failing these tests. And then she's like, well, I don't know what to do about it. It's like, oh, thanks for your help.
Thanks.
I feel like the first.
You need to get a tutor, and I'm like, sorry, I don't want to spend my outside of school time tutoring algebra 2.
After my first month, Miss Wise was just like, yeah, I don't think you're gonna pass this class, like just based on your tests. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna stay in the class though. And then
2
I failed,
months.
and I was like, it's all your fault, Miss Wise. And she's like, yeah, whatever.
2 months, dude. After 6 weeks, she's like, yeah, you're not gonna get this, dude.
No, she literally said after like the second test, she's like, I don't think you understand what's going on.
And you're like, help, and she's like, nah.
Well, it's stupid because like, dude, it's not like I was like fucking off in class. I knew I sucked at algebra 2, so I paid attention and I took all the notes and I wrote down all the shit that was on the board, and it was like, what did I just write down?
Well, like, can I understand the lesson where it goes from like 10 plus x equals 20 to like -4 plus BAC divided by 2 on over like it just goes from 0 to 100 in algebra 2.
And they're like, all right, and then graph that.
Yeah, literally.
The graphing, dude. The graphing was the worst thing ever.
And then they're like, find the slope of the graph you just made. It's like, excuse me, like
I bodied geometry though.
I just like cheated my ass off in geometry, but I didn't say that.
But for me, bodying.
Yeah, no, the feds are gonna come for you.
Benfield High School takes away my diploma. They're like, yeah, nice try, buddy.
SWAT breaks in right behind you. They take away your high school diploma.
Listens to this so that they can hear my frustration with Miss Ellis.
All right, let's talk about playoffs right now. NBA, NHL, how do we like it?
We're about to blow this series, Nolan.
Shut the fuck up. If that happens again, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
They need to win Game 6. If they lose Game 6, it's over. I'm telling you.
They did blow 3-0 last year, right?
They blew 3-1 last year.
3-1.
Same thing as
Florida was a different animal. Like Toronto's bad. Like this is 100 times worse. If you do it to Toronto,
playing tonight?
Austin Matthews is not playing tonight. That's why they're probably gonna win.
You gotta fucking dude. You gotta.
He didn't play Game 5, and that was one of the best games I've seen Toronto play. So like,
what sucks is that in overtime they were outplaying them in overtime, and I left the room to go get a snack, and I was like. I said to my dad, I'm like, the Bruins are definitely going to score and win this game, like, right when I leave the room. Then I'm in the other room, and 5 seconds later, I hear him go.
I mean, they outplayed them the majority of the game. I don't understand why we have to change up the entire lineup. It's exactly what he did last year. When we went up 3-1 and we came back to Boston, he changed the entire lineup.
Well,
then they sucked.
Talked about it in his post game. Did you listen to it or no?
I didn't listen to it at all because he's been like Bill Belichick lately with the press conferences. He doesn't give away anything, and I'm just like, bro, okay, this is what's working. We've won 2 in a row. What should we do? Let's change the entire lineup. It's like, no, that's not the answer. It's like, you got the first test right, which was starting Swayman and keeping Swayman in. Why do we have to bring in Brazeau? We have to put Pat Maroon on the third line. We got to put in Danton Heinen in the. It's like, bro, just keep it the way it was. Keep it how it was working. and then try to like in the next round, maybe game 1, you try something different. But like, bro, you need to know the matchups, and these matchups are not good. Brazeau's not fast enough. You had Boquist and Beecher in there for their speed, and then you have Pat Maroon in there for the muscle. That's what worked. Why are we deviating from that? If he starts Linus Ullmark tonight, I don't know
dude.
what I'm gonna do, bro.
Well, that was my
Swayman's
next question.
so much
Is it
better.
gonna be Allmark? Do you think it's gonna be Allmark?
I hope to fucking God he does not start Linus Ullmark tonight.
But I
because
think it is gonna be him.
No,
if it's him tonight, it's Jim Montgomery's fired. If they blow this series, Jim Montgomery's fired. If that's the case, I don't care.
It has to be Swayman tonight because he's so good on the road, though. No,
he's so good against the Leafs.
So hold on. So if they play Swayman tonight and lose, I think then you go Allmark game 7.
No, you stick to the plan. Swayman let up 2 goals. It was 1-0 the entire game, and Swayman was keeping you. He was the only reason why the Bruins even had a shot in that game. Toronto was outplaying them.
They were being outshot by 10 the whole game.
They had 6 shots on goal 10 minutes into the second period. They had 6 shots. 6 at home in a playoff game against a team that literally just gave up last game. They gave up.
I don't want to say this, Nolan, but I have to say this. Like, in order for the Leafs to beat the Bruins in a series, doesn't it have to be like this? Like, everyone's just like,
they gave up.
Yeah, literally.
They were, and then they're like, our star player's out. They were like, please kill us. They were like, please. We're starting our goalie that hasn't started a game in like 8 games. Please win this series. That's literally what the Leafs were saying. And then they were like, oh, they're really going to let us come back and win this, huh? Like, that's literally what that win did. Well, so if they do not come out and start, if they don't get a goal in the first 5 minutes tonight, they're losing. The Bruins are losing. They need to set the tone.
Well, it's like game 5. It's like if you just score the first goal in that game, Toronto probably is like, all right, we'll pack it up and go home. Like we'll just head out. Like we're good. It's like you let Toronto score the first goal in that game, and then it's like, all right, now you at least give them some sort of like hope to latch onto for the rest of the game.
They haven't scored more than 2 goals in their last like 12 playoff games. If you get 2 goals against them, you're automatically in great shape. Swayman has a .959 save percentage. Bro, he is standing on his fucking head. You just have to get goals. And Joseph Woll is not the guy. So stop acting like he is. Sure, he had some great saves, but it's not like they were like pounding him. It's not like they were literally like shot after shot after shot. It's like, no, they were not doing that. They did it in the second half of the game when they were already down 1-0. It's like they had some chances.
Is this not like a mute point though? Because like the winner of this series is getting smoked by Florida. No.
If Toronto wins this series, they are getting smoked by Florida.
Yeah,
I think the Bruins would at least have a shot. Like the Bruins could take it to 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I still think Florida probably wins. Florida's winning.
I think we had a Florida-New York conference final. I think that's what we're headed
I think
towards.
Florida wins the cup this year. I want
Boston, New York final in hockey so bad. Because Bruins and Rangers playoff series are just something else.
I mean, that would be hot for sure.
Especially if that's paired with the Celtics and Knicks conference final.
If the Bruins lose this game,
that's if the Knicks don't blow it either. They want to kind of blow it after game 5.
Yeah, no, that was a game that they should have won, dude. Tyrese Maxey.
You're up 6 with 30 seconds left or 40
Tyrese Maxey went crazy. Tyrese Maxey went nuts.
That's literally like the Reggie Miller game. That's like the Reggie Miller game. Like almost
Tracy McGrady type.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, you missed that free throw. Like Josh Hart misses that free throw at the end. It's like, come on, bro. We got to make your fucking free throws.
As soon as he misses that free throw, you're like, oh, I know what's coming next. I've seen this before.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey pulls up from the fucking logo going absolutely fucking bonkers. I was like, dude, there's
He
no
literally
way.
laid his entire dick on the table. He's like, I'm making the shot. I don't care. Like,
yeah, that was a game that the Knicks should have won. I wouldn't be surprised if they blow it. That's just totally a momentum killer.
Well, I think the Sixers definitely win tonight or tomorrow, whenever the game is, but then they lose game 7. That's just the most Sixers thing ever. That's
it's
probably
like at 9:00 tonight for some reason. Like really
That's
late.
Weird. Oh, probably because Cleveland plays first is my guess.
Milwaukee and Pacers play first. They play at 6:30 though.
Who wins that?
I think Indiana. Like how can Milwaukee win?
I don't know. They can. It's not like impossible.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it is what it is. They win the series, then they just get smoked by.
Well, no, because if Lillard
the
and Giannis
Knicks.
come back for next series, now you're talking. Like now they have life.
Will they come back though?
Doc Rivers,
they said that they might have came back tonight, but I don't think they're going to be ready.
Doc Rivers.
That's the one thing where I'm like, I'll start being like, yeah, Bucks, they can make a run. And then I look on the sideline and I'm like, Doc Rivers.
Wait, is it just him in reverse now? Like now he's just the comeback kid? Now he's just going to come back from 3-1?
No, he's had too many chances. He's had too many chances for the revenge arc. I don't think we're going on that now. It's too late.
He'll get Celtics revenge for sure.
No.
Wow, but Bucks Celtics would be interesting, and then he wins this time.
I just think the Celtics are too good. The Celtics are at least going to the finals. It's just a matter of if
Celtics
they blow
are a
it
wagon.
there.
Yeah, they're not losing to anybody in the East, or at least they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing the winner of the Cleveland and Orlando. Like, come on.
Okay, so they're in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Right. So it's like, okay, do they play the Knicks or the Bucks? Like, it's like they're creaming the Sixers. If the Sixers somehow get there, they're creaming them. And I think that they beat the Pacers no fucking problem if the Pacers somehow get there.
Yeah. It's really just who comes out of the West. It's like OKC and it should be Dallas. Dallas should beat the Clippers. It's like OKC and Dallas. Like I like Dallas in that series personally. Like I think Dallas should win that. And then
who's the only team that you think could beat the Celtics? I only think Denver could beat them.
Denver definitely can beat the Celtics.
Denver definitely can beat them.
That's the only team I could see beating them, to be honest.
The Timberwolves might.
Yeah, but they wouldn't though, Antonio.
No, they wouldn't.
Edwards, no. Anthony Edwards might be Michael.
All right, Antonio, just take a deep breath really quick.
Yeah, the Timberwolves, sure.
The Timberwolves lifting the NBA Finals. Yeah,
Carl Anthony Towns lifting the NBA, like the Larry Bryan Trophy.
It's gonna happen one of these years.
It won't happen the first year they're like this, though. Come on.
Anthony
Edwards. You know who could beat the Celtics? The Dallas Mavericks can beat the Celtics, and Kyrie could get his revenge on the Celtics.
Kyrie. I like.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so bad for the NBA.
Yeah, it would.
It'd be so bad for the NBA.
Okay, I do see the tide has changed on Kyrie a little bit, but that would be so bad.
Oh, I love Kyrie.
Everyone would want the Celtics to win. I feel like people like Jason Tatum too much.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't want the Celtics to win. People hate the fucking Celtics.
Against Dallas?
Against Dallas.
The Celtics are more liked than Dallas is, I feel like.
Why? Because Dallas is a white guy?
Well, no. Because
I think people like Luka Doncic, but people... I mean, maybe they don't hate Kyrie as much, but like Kyrie is Kyrie. But I feel like there's not a hateable person on the Celtics
team, and like they've been knocking on the door for years. Like it's their time.
There's not a hateable character on the Celtics.
Yeah, but fuck Tatum.
I just think like there's no reason why you should hate Jason Tatum. He hasn't done anything to.
No, there is no reason, but like,
I mean, yeah. I would love to see Luka Doncic win for sure.
I think it's because Tatum wants to be the face of the league and like has expressed that. And
so what's the official finals prediction after almost round one?
Here's who I think could beat the Celtics. The Boston Celtics could beat the Boston Celtics.
That's true.
That's the only way I see them losing this is if they fuck up like outrageously.
For some reason, I just don't see the Nuggets making it this year. I don't know why. I just don't think it's going to be the Nuggets. So I'm going to say
Dallas versus Bucks.
Ew. Dallas, Boston sounds right, but I feel like Dallas would win. So I'm actually going to go Minnesota, Boston, but Boston wins.
I'm going to go Denver, Boston.
Okay.
And
then
Boston
NHL, it seems like we're not really on the same page for who's coming out of each side.
I think it's
the Oilers come. I say Oilers every year. Can they do it once? Can they do it fucking once?
I think it's Dallas and Edmonton in the Western Conference Finals, and I think Dallas wins because Dallas is a wagon. And I think
is Dallas going to a Game 7 though?
They could
close it out
and win Game 7.
They could close it out though. Yeah,
they'll close it out, but I think
they've won 3 in a row. They've won 3 in a row. So I mean, I think that they've turned a corner. I think they were kind of like not that they weren't expecting Vegas to be good, because everyone expected Vegas to be good once they heard Mark Stone was coming in and they had their healthy roster back. I think that they kind of got slapped in the mouth, and now that they've turned that corner, I feel like they're going to go on a run now. If they win this game 6, they're going to the Stanley Cup Finals. You heard it here first.
They made the Stanley Cup Finals, and they went through a gauntlet. They went through Vegas, then Colorado, then probably Edmonton. Like, Jesus.
I think the problem with Colorado is Colorado's playing a team right now that is supposed to be good defensively, and Connor Hellebuck is just out of gas because he's old and he's played 40-something games. So that's why they kind of like chewed up Winnipeg. They're going to run into this Dallas team, and Dallas is just going to shut them down. And like Dallas is going to be scoring goals left and right. I don't think Georgie.
Who's the best goalie left in the playoffs right now?
Swayman right now. Numbers wise, it's Swayman. Swayman and Logan Thompson have been really good. I mean,
I thought I was gonna hear a Bobrovsky show, but
statistically, he's been ass.
Yeah, I know. I actually know that, but just like him in the playoffs, it's like hard to not say him.
I will say the one thing Bobrovsky is super good at is getting the save when you need the save.
Yeah.
Like, he'll let up goals when his team's already up, like 3-0, 2-0. Like, he'll let up easy ones then, but very rarely does he give up one that's like, and like loses his team the game.
Where it's
he
like
is
tied
good at,
and you can't give up a goal at that point.
Yeah, and Swayman has that too. That's why I think like if they play each other, like it's going to be a really good series. I think. I think it's Dallas and Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals, and I think Florida takes it. Yeah.
More Southern teams.
Wait,
what'd you say?
Say it again.
More Southern teams.
What's
Dallas
your prediction?
Is good, bro.
I'll take. Would you say that's good?
No, I said Dallas is good.
Oh no, Dallas is really good. I'm gonna say the matchup that I want. No, well, obviously I want the Bruins to be there, but Rangers Oilers.
I'm sticking with my bracket pick and Nolan's pool, and I'm saying Dallas Rangers. That's what I had.
Yeah. I was gonna do that pool, but then it asked me to like sign up, and then it told me my password wasn't working. So I think I was doing something, so I was like, I can't fucking deal with this.
You were Smell My Finger.
Get you folded.
Your username was Smell My Finger.
Was it?
I think so. Is that what you put, or no? Or is that someone else?
No.
Oh, I read it and I was like, this is definitely an Antonio username for sure.
Smell my finger.
Also, this
there was like a bracket not filled out.
Yeah.
But I thought it was yours.
This Vancouver and Nashville series I thought it was over after Nashville screwed that game up the other day.
Well, now
but Nashville kind of fought
game
back.
6 and we got a game 7 in my mind. I think that's what happens.
I just think these two teams are so bad. Like Vancouver is really bad. Nashville's really bad. They just don't have it.
It's weird though, because Vancouver had the second most points in the league, right? Or third.
They're a regular season team, and they had both their goalies get hurt. Yeah. I mean, they're just a regular season team. They're not built for the playoffs. They're not big enough.
They're not.
They don't have they don't have like that edge. Like, because who do they play if they win this? Is it Edmonton or is it?
Yeah, they play Edmonton and they probably get smoked by Edmonton.
Edmonton's gonna fucking chew them up and spit them out. So like,
yeah,
it's got to be Edmonton, Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. I feel like.
All right, I think we got to end it here for Antonio's bowling meeting.
I was just about to say I gotta hit the road.
Well, enjoy, right, Antonio. Adios, amigos.
Goodbye, my friends.
Later, pals.
See ya.